Hello. It's justice. I'm gonna remove the corona mask. Just kind of talk to you, person to person. Okay. Now I would like to discuss a very important subject. It's kind of controversial, but it's very important. And that is, does Yahweh or Jehovah, Jehovah being another name for Yahweh. Now, does Jehovah or Yahweh, or even Allah, who's more or less the same God, now, does either of them, under whichever name, do these gods really care about black people? Because think about it. Now, there's many, many black people. Now, I don't know the exact statistics, the exact figures, but many are either Christian or Muslim. Maybe the majority of them are either Christian or Muslim. Now, if that's so now, apparently many are, maybe the majority, then should not these religions be some kind of testament, some kind of evidence of how productive and how useful these religions are? Now, shouldn't the lifestyle and the experience and the existence of black people be consistent with the fact that most are either Muslim or Islam, either Islam or Christian? Okay, so you have to wonder then, so what are these religions really doing? Or the gods under these religions really doing for black people? What are they doing collectively for black people? For 2,000 years of Christianity and about 1,500 years of Islam, what are these religions and the gods under these religions really doing for black people? What? That's very questionable. Because worldwide, we're attacked worldwide, persecuted worldwide, plundered worldwide, hated worldwide. Every country, anywhere you go, any place you go, even in Africa, black people are being persecuted greatly. And many of them claim to be Christian or Muslim, and they're being persecuted greatly. According to one report, there was in Nigeria, something like 30,000 Nigerian Christians have been killed in the last 50, 60 years. Wow. Where's the intervention? Where's the divine intervention with all this Christian and Muslim persecution of black Christians and Muslims? Where's the intervention? It's questionable. And then, of course, there's many other examples. And if you want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, black Jehovah's Witnesses, well, what about the Malawi persecution of black Jehovah's Witnesses? That was a great slaughter. Probably, a larger slaughter than those who died in Jonestown. And many of them were black. going under some Christian form of religion, and look what happened to them. So it's very questionable. And then at the same time that Jehovah's Witnesses were promoting the neutrality position in Malawi, they were promoting a more lenient policy in Central America. So that's very questionable. So whether it's Christianity or whatever Christian sect or form of Christianity or whatever division of Islam, blacks are always persecuted under these religions. So what are these gods? What are the gods of these religions doing for black people? Okay, black people have been enslaved. They've been lynched, sometimes in the name of Christianity or Islam. Because those Muslims, for example, under Islam, they did all kinds of terrible things to black people. Sometimes these black people claim to be Christian themselves, or claim to be Muslim themselves, and they were still being persecuted by their fellow Christian brothers or fellow Muslim brothers, whatever. Okay. So they've been enslaved in the name of Christianity, enslaved in the name of Islam. And often when they are Islams or Christians themselves. And this is the kind of things that they've been enduring, kind of persecution that we've had as black people. So where's the intervention? If these gods really care, these religions are really good for us, and the gods of these religions are really good for us, where's the intervention? And blacks are still being lynched, sometimes still hung on trees. They may call it a suicide or something, but it's really, they were murdered apparently. And then of course with these police shootings, that's just another form of lynching, and that's pretty prevalent. So where's the great intervention? If these gods are really for us and really care about us, in 2,000 years of Christianity, 1,500 years under Islam, what are these gods doing for black people? What are they doing for black people collectively? Okay. Now we know that there's some fat ministers or other religious leaders who have become pretty successful, but they're successful exploiting their own people. They're successful in exploiting their own communities under Christianity or under Islam. So if the gods of these religions are going to help black leaders be successful when they exploit their own community, what does that say about the God themselves? What does it say about that God? If that God will let blacks be successful when they exploit their own communities, but those that are sincerely trying to worship him in modesty and truth, self-sacrifice, don't get anything out of it or very little, what does it say about that God? Does he want black people to be exploited? Because the black leaders exploiting blacks are the only ones that seem to really get anything out of Christianity or Islam of any great significance. So it's something to think about. And then, of course, they've got this movement called Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Of course, we know Black Lives Matter. But do they matter to Yahweh? Do they matter to Jehovah? Do they matter to Allah? How much? See, it's questionable. So I just, kind of like to correspond with, some open-minded Jehovah's Witnesses or others about this question. Does Yahweh or Jehovah or Allah really care about black people? Okay, I'll talk to you later. This is very questionable. Bye.